Okay, so you're wanting to grow your own wheatgrass, and somehow, for some reason, you haven't managed to grow your own nice, lush green wheatgrass like you'd imagined. This video is to help troubleshoot some of the problems that you might face and help you find solutions to that. So the first stage of growing your wheatgrass is to soak the seed. This is where you put it in the jar, fill it with water and leave it. I've found that it's best if you soak the seed for between 8 and 12 hours. Less than 8 hours and the seeds don't seem to have absorbed enough water and they don't sprout very well, or not as well as they could. More than 12 hours and while they will still sprout, they seem a bit too waterlogged. They don't seem to sprout or grow as fast as they otherwise would. So aim for 8 to 12 hours. If you're finding that you are soaking your seed for that amount of time and they're still not growing well, a couple of other things. You may find that you need to put the jar in a dark place. Certainly you don't want it out in direct sunlight. I normally have it somewhere where there's not a lot of natural light anyway, so it's not a problem, but you could put it inside a cupboard to restrict the amount of light on the seed. And the other thing is you may just have bad seed. Maybe it wasn't stored properly. You know, sometimes that happens. So you may need to look at buying some fresh seed, maybe from a different supplier to try. Okay, on to the next stage. The next stage is where you put it in a tray and cover it over with either some cloth or some newspaper to keep the light out. There are a couple of things that can go wrong here. One is that you haven't kept it dark enough. The seeds need to be kept dark. That's the purpose of the cloth or the newspaper, so that they can put their roots down well and start to shoot up. It mimics being underneath the soil. We're cheating a little bit so we can get a faster process by having the seeds on top of the soil. But we need to keep them dark so that they can develop healthy roots and start to shoot up. So one, maybe you haven't covered it with something that blocks the light well enough. Like maybe if you use a piece of cloth and it's too thin, maybe too much light's getting through. Alternatively, maybe you've uncovered it too soon. You should leave the shoots to grow until they're at least maybe a centimetre or half an inch before you then uncover them and put the tray out into the sun. Another issue can be if you've let them dry out too much, so you need to make sure they stay damp through that time. Okay, so moving on to the third phase of growing wheatgrass, some problems that can occur there. If they shoot okay, but it doesn't thrive and grow healthy wheatgrass, a couple of things you can look at. One is the quality of your soil. You want the soil to be nice, light and loose, like this. For me that means buying my soil in bags, because the stuff in the ground here is very heavy, thick and clumpy, and I would really struggle to grow wheatgrass in that. Another thing you can look at is, does your tray have enough holes in the bottom of it? The water needs to be able to drain out of the tray, because if water gets trapped, it'll go stagnant and it will rot the roots of the wheatgrass and it won't grow well at all. Other than that, your only other two issues really that you need to be aware of is you need to make sure that you water it regularly and that it gets plenty of sunlight, and you should have good, healthy wheatgrass. Well, one other problem I have when I put my trays out, often the neighbourhood birds, which you sometimes hear in the background of these videos, like to come and peg at the seeds, so a little bit of vigilance there helps too. But hopefully that's helped you to identify what some problems may be if you're having troubles growing wheatgrass, and help you to fix them as well.